Hi.
So, I've been wanting to make a video like this for a pretty long time, believe it or not. It's just that I was procrastinating and lately I have been really busy, so I couldn't make the video. Here I'm going to talk about my experiences with dysphoria and how it affects me at the moment. Of course, not many people are educated about the subject of this video, so I'll try my best to explain what is it about. Well, it's not hard to explain. Agender means simply without gender. You just put the prefix a in front of gender, and that prefix negates any word that is put afterwards. Now, what does that mean? Agender people want to identify themselves as completely gender void. They don't identify with a specific gender at all. That is why I'm totally leaning towards it, because for me it just feels nice to lack characteristics that inherently describe a male or a female. Agender is a part of a big bubble called non-binary. That's a term for people not within the binary, where agender falls into. If I'm neither male or female, I will be perceived by others differently. That is why I have different pronouns. Currently, I have decided on they, them. I think it's the most natural option. However, if you call me it, that is also fine. But if you call me that, I just feel that I'm some sort of object and not a human for some reason. Perhaps I've been willing to get to neo-pronouns, but they sound wrong and complicate things too much. I'm talking about something like she or a or something like that. I want to point out that I don't want to be transgender in any way. Some people do identify themselves as agender because they want to somehow migrate to their opposite gender. I don't want that. I actually used to want a partner before, but that occurred 2 years ago and I couldn't find anyone suitable for me. I started to give up. I started to realize nobody really wanted to be with me for some unknown reason. I used to be pansexual, for those wondering, and I can assure you, my situation before that, when I had puberty, was even worse. I know that I was a cringy fucking tryhard that tried to act cool but fell flat on his face. The roleplays the past me did were absolutely horrendous, and I showed myself off in the worst way possible. You as the viewer can hear that my voice is not that low, even though it's coming from someone who is above 18 years old. During my times in puberty, I was greeted with physical changes that were confusing, and I didn't know what was going on. Why is my voice deeper? Why do I voice crack? I wasn't even getting body hair like other people at my school. I felt embarrassed and shocked that I was going with this transition because people were becoming literal monkeys in front of me. Not that I wanted to be a monkey myself, but this fact struck me pretty hard because we were becoming grown. I hate to say it, men. That did not really stop me from having desires to some extent, but I did not want to reveal that to anyone. I would love anyone that seemed attracted to me, but nobody came. And now it's 2020. I've realized that realizing anything sexual for me isn't possible. There was nobody I could talk to about my problems, and I still cannot. The fact I seek apathy and I don't really talk to anyone unless it's absolutely necessary has made me distanced from this topic a lot. If you are a friend of mine, consider yourself special. I know, that's lame, but most people are like that anyway. I have conducted an inquiry in my server about me being agender. It's some sort of QNA where they will get a prize after partaking. If you wanna go check the server out, the link is in the description. It's not that active, but my friend QB helped me in setting it up. First question. What exactly do you plan on doing in terms of surgery, transitioning so that you may achieve a more androgynous look? I do have certain plans on what to do for my body, but at the moment I am extremely broke and financially unstable. It also has something to do with not living independently. However, I'm not going to disclose with whom I'm living at the moment. So there are several options for me. One is penectomy. It is an operation where your penis is basically surgically removed. This one I'm extremely wary of. I have mentioned my sexual life being kinda confusing, and I do acknowledge the effects it can have. And I feel like having a penis is disgusting, looking at it. It seriously is. It's a part of my dysphoria that I have for a while now. But at the same time, I'm just excited to do that. And it probably costs a lot of money too. So I tried to look up anything online, but I found several threads that didn't really answer my question. One thread revolved around a guy having a problem with pedophilia. The thing is, people obviously told him that he needs to visit a sexuologist or psychiatrist, and therefore there was no reply saying where it is possible. And I felt like digging deeper in the rabbit hole. In one thread, One guy felt like it could be exciting to try it out, but no answers to my question. Nothing. I don't think it's possible here where I live. I would have to really visit a sexologist someday. Number 2, the second option is electrolysis. I have read that electrolysis is a pretty painful method, but it could potentially get rid of my facial hair. There's one alternative to it though. I could just shave. I actually did get a shaver myself, get rid of my mustache and beard that has been growing for a while now. I don't have a lot of it though. From my perception, there wasn't a whole lot on my face. Second question. How do you feel about admitting that you're agender? And do you think that this is gonna change your life after talking about it out loud? Well, not really. Unless anyone I know in real life comes across this video. Imagine if any of my tutors or classmates decided to watch my video, I would probably get a heart attack. Admitting that I am agender does alter the perception of people about me. I can already sense that me coming out is going to have a negative response to them, but I have yet to stumble upon someone who doesn't welcome the change. After all, being agender is also being non-binary. It's essentially just not feeling female and male, which I want to achieve. It is only going to change my life, provided that people aren't satisfied with this change. I don't want to look apparent to you that I'm not a male, but I definitely want to mitigate at least some of the characteristics. Third question. So, will this affect how you treat other people or yourself? Does this make your relationship awkward if you love someone? No, I haven't loved anyone, and I still do not, despite my efforts. I believe this question is similar to the previous one, so I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm not entirely sure what would the lovers say, but there's just no way I'm going to get someone. They would probably break up with me, or I would break up with them before they would do so. And I treat others the same exact way as before. I'm the exact same individual with the same personality. So that's that. Fourth question. When did you lose having the interest to love someone romantically? About a year ago. Last year was probably the one I felt like I wanted to change my gender identity. I tried asking on public Discord servers in one of the find a mate categories, but alas, no response to my message at all. I don't know. I started getting extremely desperate, and I hate to admit it, I decided to propose to someone of my friends, but they turned down their offer. It wasn't anything dramatic. They just firmly replied no, and that is why I felt this never-ending rage within my head. I just said, fuck it, let's just make it so that I don't have a gender. Me being agender now isn't just a response to this though. Fifth question. You've been agender for longer than this, right? I mean, the flag has been in your profile picture for ages anyways. What's different about you coming out now? I wanted to make an official statement about this so that people are acquainted with this situation I'm in right now. I know that I have set a flag on a lot of media I use, like Discord, YouTube, and Steam. And when people are confused, I can just send them this video to help them understand, instead of, writing everything in a million lines, which is incredibly tiresome. Obviously, I haven't decided one day I would become agender. It all is as a result of the dysphoria that progressively got into me over the course of a year, approximately. Sixth question. Have you told your family, and if you have, how did they take it? I don't have anyone to tell that other than the person with whom I live. They wouldn't welcome that, as they're pretty religious and want me to be an established person with a family. Telling them the same thing, that every person differs, is like talking to a wall. I haven't met both of my parents for a long time, and I can't even remember when exactly. My family is pretty dysfunctional and nobody knows each other, or barely does. I could very well have a lot of cousins or uncles or any other relatives I don't know about though. I can't think of the consequences this would have, especially after telling that to my family. Seventh question. Did you have an expectation before revealing anything? Like, did you want it to turn out in some way? A scenario you had in mind, etc. Were there things that, while going through the entire process, didn't turn out as planned, good or bad? There were no expectations that I had while releasing this video. Like, I'm still the same person as I've mentioned earlier. The only thing how I want it to turn out is that people should accept it and live with it, and call me with corresponding pronouns. We only live once. Is it that hard for people to realize? I can already foresee that people are bashing me just because I have a different gender identity. But just why? It's not really your problem. It's my problem. I've yet to experience how people feel about it. Perhaps make another update video. There might have been things I wanted to talk about, though a lot of things are covered here already. The basics are already explained. So yeah, if I feel like doing another video on this topic, I'll definitely do it. I'll also let you know who won the giveaway in the next video.
QNA out.